All right, what is going on, Banter fam? Welcome into the Monday edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, I'm excited to be back from the Miami trip. We hit NFT Miami, we hit BTC Miami, and we'll have some epic recaps on the channel this week from BTC Miami. I know Miles got some killer footage. We got some interviews as well, so that'll be on the channel this week. But today I want to break down why I believe that right now is one of the best times to be looking at Crabada, the idle play-to-earn game with an upcoming blockchain and battle game integration that I think will create a lot of actual upward momentum, I would say, on the TUS token with the burn pressure from the blockchain, as well as an influx of players and a potential supply shock on crabs whenever scholars do flock to the economy when the battle game does launch. We'll go over everything in this economy, population numbers, and why I think this is an amazing time to take a look at Crabada as an entry point. Without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't a percent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know you gon' play, but ain't here to play. If you get lost, show you the way.
I think we're having some technical difficulties, but let's go ahead and get into it. So if you don't know, Crabada is the play and earn idle game. And I would say right now it has been the #1 yielding game in all of the blockchain as far as return on investment. And definitely their team is building out a lot of quality integrations in the future to actually go against the grain from what a lot of play to earn projects have had flaws with their utility tokens, the infinite printing, the inflationary metrics to actually with these tokens, the SLPs, the VISs, and the TUSs of the world. And as we see TUS, it was starting to fall victim to a lot of flaws, right? A lot of these projects rely on the breeding and the breeding hype, and then the returns get really high, and then a lot of people cash out, and then the economy dips because breeding doesn't keep that same lucrative feel to it, and the profitability behind breeding goes down. Well, in that regard, you see TUS starting to take that dip because there's less breeding going on in the economy and there's just less utility for the TUS token. But what they are integrating now is exactly what DeFi Kingdoms just did. So DeFi Kingdoms just integrated the DFK chain, a brand new blockchain that is burning Jewel token every single transaction. Here comes the Swimmer network, and this will be Crabada's very own blockchain, which, as you guessed it, will be pivoting towards the TUS token to burn, which I think is a tremendous idea. And as you take a look, this is the VIS token from PegAxie. This is the Smooth Love Potion from Axie Infinity. We'll go to the all chart. Doesn't look pretty. We'll take a look at C token from, this is right here. This is from Theta Arena. I mean, these earnings tokens completely crash and flatline every time. But with Crabada's Swimmer network, we're going to have burn pressure on the TUS token of up to 12 million transactions per month. So you have to understand the amount of activity going on this game is absolutely nuts. We are talking about 12 million transactions in 30 days. That is almost 50% more transactions than DeFi Kingdoms, which just went through another hype cycle, which just went through a transition to a brand new blockchain. So you can see why the burn pressure on TUS is going to be super bullish for the economy for Crabada. And they're pivoting this token to now where it's not inflationary completely. It has a deflationary aspect to it, where they'll be able to burn part of the supply as a part of the gas of the network for the Swimmer network. And this is obviously an Avalanche subchain. And as we see here, they're trending up 30% users. 30% users on the last 30 days. And over 24 hours, they're sitting at 6K daily active users. It's very impressive numbers for a single play to earn idle game. And then we move over to some of the metrics. And some of the metrics, as we see, the player count is just booming. We see more and more players coming every single month to this game. And this is from Gojo Crypto. We just hit 6,000 daily actives. And just to start the year, we were below 2,000. So the users numbers have 3x'd up until the beginning of April. And then we look over at what is to come. Think about the player potential in this economy whenever Yield Guild Games, whenever Merit Circle, whenever all these big time guilds start looking at this game for the battle game. This game is basically identically set up towards Axie Infinity's battle game, where you have a team of 3 crabs and you battle back and forth in these underwater missions where you're battling. Each crabs and each class have different attacks and each have different strengths. And as you see here, it's very similarly structured to a turn-based 3v3 Axie Infinity game, except the earnings in this game have been consistent through and through. Even at the TUS prices, now you are still earning a very, very nice amount every single day if you run multiple teams, or even if you just run one team of crabs. The ROI numbers really haven't deviated too much with this dip. And as we see, this is from last week, and TUS was starting that downtrend. You can still expect an ROI in this economy within about 60 days. And as you see here, up until last week on the 5th, you could expect ROI with the mining game within about 50 to 60 days. And then if you go to the tavern, completely passive, you just rent them out in the background, you're still on pace to make your money back within 90 to 110 days. And that's about 400 to 300% returns over the year. So even though this game has taken a dip, the earnings are still there. And these guilds, Yield Guild Games, for example, guys, they will be pivoting right towards a high yield battle game like Crabada, when Crabada specifically has said that the battle game will pay more rewards than the mining game, than the looting game. They want to reward players for actually playing. I see an influx of players swarming into the economy here. And why do I think this? Well, let's just take a look. So we're seeing the trend go up for players. We have scholarships, discipleships, and battle game around the corner. I see an influx of players from guilds being allocated to Crabada. That way they can start yielding within this game. But if we take a look at the population numbers real quick, right? And as you see, we have the bulks dominate the supply of the economy. Then you have the primes, the craboids, the gems, then the organics. But then you take a look at the amount of total adult crabs. At 76,000 adult crabs, we're looking at 627,000 adult crabs in Axie Infinity. So this is where I see big strength for Crabada. We're looking at a supply shock of upwards of 8x, 9x almost supply shock with 70,000 crabs versus 630,000 Axies, a very similarly set up game. There's not enough crabs to suffice thousands and thousands of more players to come in for the battle game at this current metric. So at 76,000 crabs, 3 crabs per team, we only have about 25,000 total teams of adult crabs in the entirety of the population. So this is what makes me bullish in the future because of the amount of players, the amount of scholarships, guilds that will be flocking here. I don't see there being enough crabs to suffice, and I do see there being a supply shock on crabs. And you're looking at prices right now for the Crabada characters. Each crab is about $850, and this is full pure. So you want full pure crabs. If you're looking at prime crabs, you can get them about $950. Those are the best crabs in the current meta of the game. And then if you want to diversify for the battle game, you can look at the craboids, and you're looking at about $940, $950 for those floors. And if you want just bulks, full pures, you'd be looking in the mid 800s. These are the lowest floor prices that Crabada has been in months. And this sets up very, very similarly to the DeFi Kingdoms chart. DeFi Kingdoms ramped up to $22 before during the bull run, goes up to $22 in January on its own accord against the market. And then we see it dip all the way down to $3. It surged up to $11 after the blockchain integration. So whenever you look at the surge of the blockchain integration, I don't see why TUS won't do the same exact thing that Jewel did with DeFi Kingdoms leading up to the blockchain. I'm going to just read this comment real quick. just mindlessly shilling this crab project. No community interaction. Go on Twitter, and every other Twitter account has crabs on their name. And on top of that, this project has been going on for like 5 months, and the yields have been the best in crypto gaming the whole way through. I've been talking about this project since months back. Haven't gotten in. This is the best time to get in. I'm just telling you exactly the metrics that are going to make TUS surge. If you don't see that, and if you don't see the success that we've had with this project, then you're not listening. Just not listening. But really, just to sum it up, with the blockchain, with the battle game, with scholars coming into the economy, not see a single way that the crab prices do not jump, that the TUS price does not jump. I see this exactly playing out the same way DeFi Kingdoms did. This is playing out this same way. We had the initial hype. We had the dump. And then the blockchain integration came through, and Jewel really bounced back. And now the market's really going against us, and Jewel's coming back to the ground, I would say. It was definitely a buy the rumors, sell the news event a little bit, and then the market's kind of going against it. But this is the best time to load up on crabs. If you have not gotten into this project, this is one of the best blockchain games across the space. And at the current prices, given the next 30 to 90 days, I don't see a way that this is not a winning play. When the swimmer network comes around, the TUS price will bounce back. I would almost be certain to see a surge in this economy whenever the blockchain integration comes through. This infinitely printed token is all of a sudden going to have deflationary metrics. On top of the fact that you have to spend the TUS token to play the game, it's already recirculating through the economy with 12 million transactions over 30 days. I see this as the best time to potentially enter Crabada if you haven't already. So let's go ahead and get out of here. If you liked the video, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more daily crypto gaming content right here on Crypto Banter at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on In the Game. I am your host, Hustle. I'll be back for the Tuesday show. Until then, play well, my friends.